in my constituency to go and teach or to go and serve as a health practitioner, the fellow has to stay in Howway, pick a motor in the morning before he gets to work. Mr. Speaker, oftentimes when you see them in the morning, they look like people coming from maybe a Galante pit as a result of the nature of the road. And so, Mr. Speaker, when we say we are building affordable houses, and the focus and the concentration is always in the towns and the cities, and no attention is paid to the rural areas, what it will create eventually is that everybody will want to move to the cities and towns where they believe they can get proper accommodation and housing for their families. And so whilst we make effort to provide affordable housing, Mr. Speaker, it will be important that we pay some attention to the villages. Mr. Speaker, the next issue I want to raise has to do with the cost of the so-called affordable houses that we've even built in Accra. Mr. Speaker, go and find out today how much they are renting these same affordable houses. So you have an institution like SNIT that will use workers' money to build an apartment, like the dental SNIT housing. Then people who are well placed in society will go and buy these houses from SNIT, and then they will now go and rent it for the poor people who cannot raise money to buy it. I think that it is not a healthy practice that we use state resources to build houses that are supposed to go for individuals who don't have money, and yet we sell it to the people who have money, and then now go and rent it to the ordinary people. Mr. Speaker, it's a practice that we need to check. One of the reasons why, Mr. Speaker, I believe that houses are becoming very expensive in this country is the cost of building materials. Mr. Speaker, today a ton of iron rod is not a joke. And I've always been citing an example that my grandfather who gave birth to my father, I didn't see him. By a house he built in my village, without any iron rod, without any cement, they just used clay. That house is still there to date. Is there a way we can develop technology that we can build houses that are cheap and affordable and really affordable, that ordinary people can go in there and go and rent? And it's something that we need to do, to invest in some technology, how we can modify this same clay that we have here, either into bricks and use to put our houses, and stop solely depending on these iron rods, this cement, and the rest. Mr. Speaker, one other thing that is giving us a problem are these agents who go and contract these houses, and they serve as middlemen. They will collect some percentage of the money from the tenant. They will collect a percentage from the one who is also renting the house. Meanwhile, these people don't pay any taxes to the state. Can we come out with some other law? The tenants also pay some taxes to the state, instead of these middlemen who only make money from both the tenant and the landlord and don't contribute anything to the state. And so, Mr. Speaker, I think that one of the reasons why we are not able to enforce the law at 1963 at 20 is the fact that majority of the people who own these houses, who are renting out, themselves are a beneficiary. And so now once they implement the law strictly, they will not benefit. How many poor people are building houses in this country? It is the same rich people who are building the houses. The same people are supposed to enforce the law. They are the landlords. And so deliberately, what is glossing over it, that let the status quo remain. The young man comes out of the university. He gets an appointment, let's take SNIT, and he's posted to Accra. And before he can start work, he has to go and take a loan to go and rent a house. Now, Mr. Speaker, by the time he finishes paying for the